You're listening to Shrink Me. I'm just waking up. And this is Dr. Lia Roth. Today, we're going into one of my favorite topics, shame. Because if you felt you look good on paper, but you don't feel that way inside, well, some of us are tired of feeling confused and done performing for applause. We are thirsty of the real thing. And today we're digging into shame. Not the Instagram version, but the real kind. The one that shaped you into the roles you've been playing lately. I would say that the way I describe shame in its proper concept is pretty different to the way most people use that word. Even I find myself quite often using that word when I'm talking about someone that's shy, embarrassed. But the reality is that shame is far greater, deeper, more profound. It's one of the anxiety feelings, and therefore that means that it comes to alert us of something. It's a wake up call. The body remembering a very ancient thing that happened so long ago is ingrained in your body. And it shows up every time there is a risk of going through that again. The very first time I go to this point over and over again to repeat myself, but it's that important. And and it reminds me of Conrad Lawrence describing in one of his books. He had a ton of thorns in his house, sound like basically on his book. And the when it hatched out of the egg, the swan saw a duck and it followed the duck. And and that was imprinted. The very first thing they see is what they call mother. And that's how you know the story of the ugly duckling. Anyhow, the very first time you were dropped, and this is of course theory, but it's not my theory. I'm based it on other people. In fact, I'm citing Carmen Gonzalez Tawa. She was the first one I heard to describe hate as our first emotion. Imagine this. You are born from being in your mother's womb, which just close your eyes and envision that for a moment. It's water, which means that there's no weight, that is your skin is not exposed to the harshness of dry air. It's soft. You don't shake. You bounce, if at all. So even when there might be some risk attached to being in that environment, it's a softer context. And from that, you come after a painful delivery. Imagine a mother crying. Imagine the baby what's crying, of course. And moving from breathing within a context of water, I mean, it's not water, but liquid, and starting to breathe air for the very first time. Really. But you know what? That's every time you move from the comfort zone to an area that you are not sure how things will happen, and you start thinking about what other people might think of you, if they will accept you, or if they will reject you, what they would think. Are you properly dressed? Do you have the skills that matter? Do you fit to fit in? Which is, those words were given to me by one of the participants of a research on shame I did years ago. If you're ready, if you fit, if you're fitted to fit in. And and that's you moving from comfort zone, intrauterine, if you want, to outside, to the world, the rush, the gravity, the unknown. Every time you have a project you need to deliver and you put it off, I just need to do one other thing because you're a perfectionist and it's never ready, never ready enough. There's always something missing, right? And if you want to change, if you want to do something in your life and you've been thinking about doing this, but you never quite find the moment, that's you putting it off because it's the unknown. You are not sure how people will accept you what they will think of you if you start doing something new, something that is so new. You're not sure if they will criticize you. If you will have that mirroring, that supporting mirroring from others, or if you'll have to go solo for a little bit, well, that's when shame comes to tell you, hey, are you ready for this? Or would you just skip another day? Let's try another day, not just today. You're not ready yet. So the questions that are being fit to fit in, that prompt you with whether you're ready or not as a person, those are the questions of shame. But that anxiety that tells you you are about to step out of your comfort zone. Are you ready? And that's all you need. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Or no, I would. And there is the people that OCD, fall on OCD. I need to do all these things. Read a book. I don't know. Watch a movie. And they have all the list of things they need to do before they can do whatever they want. Instead of just going, go, try. If it doesn't happen the way you thought, well, you can always try again. I was blessed with parents that try their best. And my mother always used to say, you already have the no. No, you cannot do this. You already have the no. Go for yes. If it doesn't happen today, if it doesn't happen the way you envision it, you're practicing. Sorry, I all of a sudden I have this memory visiting me of, because I went to many different schools, and every time I had to take an exam to be accepted at this private school. And one year, my mother took me to, I don't know how many tests I had to take. You are practicing. That's what she said. You are practicing. Don't worry about whether you go in and they accept you or they don't accept. You are practicing. And there I was, a little girl hanging on mom's side and going to take another test. And that's what it is. Life is full of tests. And sometimes it's about not crossing the line last, in any case. The fact that you attempted to get there, that is a winning by itself. What happens in between matter as lessons learned. There's so much richness in that there's to being the winner. Being number one takes a lot of skills, a lot of work. Being number two, also. It also does take a lot of skills and a lot of work, and only one person makes it. You get to number one and you know how you're going to feel that day. You know what you're going to do. You're going to go celebrate with your friends. Of course. Makes sense, right? Now, for number two, number three, and everybody else, it's a little bit, okay, we need to prepare for that. It's not a given. But when it's not a given, when you have to think, when you have to work through, well, that's the exercise doesn't stop at you getting the medal. It goes on. Learning that those that don't get the medal, the actual medal, get other things. Wow. I don't know you, but I think that if you get to that point, there is a lot of respect for me. Get a little farther yet. There is a winner, and then everybody else, are they losers? No. They are only losers if they allow others to treat them as such. Because at any task, everybody can win. Not, again, let's go back to this. It's not about the medal. It's about the path. It's about life. It's with all the different moments that life has for us. And when you see it that way, when you will realize that you don't need to be perfect, because if we were all perfect, we would all be clones of something that is perfect. We would all be equal, like everything the same. It would be so boring, wouldn't be? I think it would be so boring because we are not perfect. We get to choose how we manage our imperfections. And when you feel steady enough within you to try because trying is far richer than getting it right and being the winner. When you get to that point, then shame shushes away because you'll always be somehow prepared for the unknown, for what's outside your comfort zone. And that, when you learn to dance to the rhythm of life, like I said in my book, Get In or Get Out, but don't stay in the friggin' middle. When you get to that point and you trust yourself that bouncing back up is always possible, then you don't need to have all the answers, just enough clarity to know what you want to try, even if you don't get it right, because you'll have a second chance if you have the guts to live that way. With one ear close to your gut, your heart, your intelligence, and the other ear open to the world, to the point that you can negotiate middle points. Well, that is autonomy. And autonomy is your best freaking vaccine against betrayal, against shame, and against so many other things. It's not easy to get there, but it's the highest level of maturity you can get. For that, we need to move out of our comfort zone, our scripts. And for that, you need to read my next book coming up called Not. I explain more about this there. But we tend to live in a script that was given to us by this early, most primitive experience of shame, I told you earlier, and for survival. And it works really well. We actually need those scripts until instead of supporting our living, our ability to survive, they start becoming traps, cages that makes us feel growing. We are seeking conformity. We're seeking validation. That we cannot do anything without getting it perfect. That we push it for another day. Procrastination. So common. You can say, "Hey, I didn't have enough time," but you know what? We both know it's not about time. I always say, check on your pockets. Do you have time? No, of course not. Time is not something you have, it's something you make. And someone very smart told me, I always have time because I make time for my priorities. I organize myself. That's the reality. You can organize yourself to meet a deadline. Or you can say, sorry, I don't have time. What is sorry of excuse, right? Yeah, we both know you just decided too much. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable here. Uh-uh. I feel too exposed. Can't do that. Well, remember, it's not about winning. It's about allowing yourself to try. Because otherwise, you stay put, stay in place. Life goes on. And it will go on without you, because you can't step out. So you stay put. You see what I'm trying to say? Yeah. hmm That's why autonomy is so important. It's something you hear more and don't worry about the word. The important thing is understanding, embodying what it really means. So this is Dr. Lia Roth, and Shrink Me, I'm just waking up. Give me thumbs up if you enjoyed this episode, and share it with someone that needs it. Okay? See you soon.